this piece, I want to talk about offset mortgages. Look, if you want to save more of the rent, if you want to keep more of that rent money in your pocket, it's not necessarily about trying to push the rents up. It's saving more of that rental and reducing your expenditure. It's highly likely your largest single outgoing is the mortgage interest. And therefore, if we can chip away at that and reduce that interest, then that's more of the rent you're going to be able to keep. And that's why offsets could, for the right landlord, play a growing part in achieving that. Back in June, I did a larger piece on offsets. I've not touched on offsets before, but given where rates are now, I think offsets are really going to be a bigger player in this market. And landlords should be thinking about offsets alongside other product options. If your broker doesn't mention them, bring it into the conversation. Now, like I say, in the June update, I did a bigger piece on it, but a real brief recap. If you've got let's say, 100K mortgage, you've got your mortgage pot. The offset lender will also give you a savings pot. The two are linked so that if you've got any money in your savings pot, because the interest is calculated on a daily basis, any money, £1 in your savings account, is deducted off the balance in your mortgage pot, and you pay interest on the net amount. It reduces the mortgage interest for every single day that you have money in the savings account. So if you have got surplus money, I'm not going to call it savings, great if you've got savings that you might then think, well, I can move it across. But what about, like me, I've got a certain amount in my rental bank account that I don't go below because I need it for rainy day. I need it for when I get that call saying, you thought it might be a couple of slates that want repairing. Well, it's a re-roof. It's 5,000 quid, not 200 quid. Or the boiler's fault. You know what I mean? Those bigger ticket items where you're not able to plan them in, so you need the contingency money. So in a current account, you're probably earning little or no interest whatsoever. So that money's not working for you. So this is where offsets can come into play. Move that money across into a linked savings account and then offset the mortgage, reduce your mortgage interest. Are you someone that saves for your tax bill at the end of the year? Put the money to one side. Again, you're not thinking of it as it's not as a savings pot, is it? It's just money that ultimately you're going to have to hand over. Well, why not have that money working for you? Have it working harder for you. Could it be in a linked savings pot? So have a look at offset mortgages. So the reason I brought it back into the conversation only 3 months down the line is that back in June, it was quite restrictive as to which landlords could benefit from it. Now we've got a widening of the choice, which is why I brought it back in. And where's that widening? Well, here it is on the slide. Back in June, we could only get offset mortgages if you had your mortgage in personal name only. If it was in a limited company, I couldn't get you an offset. I can now. I couldn't get you one for multi-units. I couldn't get you one for HMOs. Couldn't get you one for holiday lets. I can now. So it widens the net. Therefore, if it's something that might interest you, speak to the team. There'll be a link at the end of this piece. Have a chat and see if offset mortgages just might save you more money, increase your profit margin, keep more of that rent that you're earning.